Way to start a fire, Dan. What'd you do?
Okay, I win again, so we're recording again, and I think it's looking good.
Yet so much.
So, welcome to the first episode of Insightful Hypocrites. I am your co-host.
What's up, guys? I'm Dan. I'm your other co-host, I guess.
My name's Tulsa, 23. Dad's Elvis.
And I'm a ginger. I'm 24. We're two friends. We live in Midwestern area, Illinois, with the not Chicago part of Illinois. You know, the part when you introduce people, you say.
Shout out Chicago, though.
No idea.
I've met some of the greatest people I know in Chicago.
City. Great city. Don't listen.
We're only 3 hours out. It's not a bad haul. Going there Wednesday, actually. Meeting with a buddy to maybe do a collab.
Good note store. Check it out.
Which leads into our
t-shirt maker. We have a little t-shirt company where he makes custom tie-dyes, all kinds of stuff. We can talk about that a little bit, Tulsa, so they know your background a little bit more.
I love business.
I love business. Business.
That leads into our first thing. We got our first sponsor this week. It's goodnotestore.com.
Oh, it's good. I said, who's that? Yeah, our first sponsor. Yeah, we're going to be completely neutral about their products. We think just based on, our complete independent research that they make great products, great tie-dyes. I think you should check it out.
Personally, the guy's a dick that owns it.
Can't stand the fucking butt. Yeah, no. I would check it out, though, guys. It really is good stuff.
I'm excited, though. I've, been excited to do this all day.
I'm excited, too. A little nervous. I don't get nervous very often, so that's kind of interesting.
Hey, welcome to my world.
You with your anxiety world. I know we talk about that so much.
I am nervous 24/7.
I think that's a weird thing, because that's a feeling that I don't ever relate to. And we've talked about that a little bit, but it's that feeling of anxiety and feeling nervous. I don't feel often. So when I do feel it, though, I feel it really intense. But yeah, it's just that's not my reality. It's so interesting to me.
I don't remember a time where I didn't feel some sort of nervousness. You know what I mean? There's always just
that.
that.
Were you always nervous like that too, or did that start?
See, remembering back as far as I could think, even in I'll remember things from school sometimes and be like, holy shit, yeah, I was really nervous right there. I just didn't really know that it was a thing.
Well,
then.
How young of a kid? Like junior high? 'Cause I think it's interesting too. I think you see so many people are anxious now. Anxiety is such a big issue in our society. I think
it's huge.
Part of that, I think, is more awareness, but I think social media as a huge thing. Hypocrites here. We're starting a podcast. That's why we like the name.
Social media is huge. Everybody's got eyes on them now, and it's really I don't know.
You're always worrying about what people are doing, and I think there's.
That's why I kind of cut myself off. The Snap stories everybody posts. I don't watch any of them because I don't want to know what people are doing. I try to refrain from it. Sometimes if I might just peek through and see some previews, the little circle thumbnail, and I'm like, oh, that looks dope. I'll click on it.
It's so hard on say a night when you're bored too, Friday night, and you're like, oh man, I should be doing something productive. But you're like, what the fuck are people doing?
That's
when
I hit the Instagram.
And then you check it out, and you're like, oh man, should I go out? And you start checking out what people doing. I understand it, and it's why you do. You kind of got to disconnect from it, but it's such a big part of how I think we all, it's such an integrated part of our society. For jobs, for everything. It's you can't disconnect too much. So there's that weird.
It's
weird.
Especially with a business, you have to have a social media presence or you won't survive. So
that's why Instagram
there's almost a demand for me to be on social media for a certain point. I'm not trying to use that as an excuse to sit on social media all day because I try. You know me, I don't get on my phone that much. I try to stay away.
Well, you definitely don't hit me up enough. God damn it!
I'll link up on the 33rd.
I'm terrible with my phone too, so that's another thing I'm hypocritical about because I'm giving you shit about not getting hold of me enough and keep me in touch with some stuff and on base, and it's I never answer my phone. I intentionally ignore text messages, not intentionally, but I'll hear my phone vibrate and I won't check it. It's not I read it and I'm like, fuck this person.
I think I have hit you once, and then you'll reply to that message 7 days later,
yes.
We're carrying on conversation.
7 days. I'm gonna call you out an exaggeration. All I do is exaggerate. But yeah, no, hours later, I'm the king of a 4-hour later response to a basic ass question. But then when I want people to answer me, it's why aren't they answering their phone? My mom or my parents. If I'm trying to get a hold of my mom or dad and they don't answer the phone, I get angry. It's a personal attack at me.
I'd probably get scared just because my mom always knows. She real quick. You never know with me what's going on.
She's pretty worried too, but. Yeah,
my mom's
terrible with her phone.
I've texted your mom about shirts and stuff before when she was getting that mandala shirt.
She's the best at novels. I love her. No, if you hear this, Mom, it's not an insult. I love them, but you always send back a book.
I got a friend that does that too. But yeah, it would be like texting you though. She'd answer like 2 days later or something. It's like,
well, you see your phone and even like her computer. It's just like chaos. Like you can see, it's like a doorway into her brain because like like looking under your computer screen, like how people organize their files and shit. Or like you ever open up someone's phone and how their apps are, it just annoys the shit out of you. You're like, what is going on here? So you open up my mom's stuff and
can't find anything.
A million notifications. Every single box is like a folder with 10 things that you can't find anything, and every one has like 60 notifications and a million emails and just like 8 email addresses. And it's like, of course you take forever because it's like it's overload. It's like informational overload, communication overload, and so much of it is nonsense. And it's like they get mad at me. I never respond to emails. It's like, why are you sending me an email? We have text,
I'm good with email.
We have phones. It's like for professional stuff, but like, why are you
emailing your child
who sees me regularly and talks to me on the phone regularly, emailing me this? Like, if you want me to text me about it, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I'm going to respond, or call me, or when you
That's
see
something
me,
I could say. My mother has never emailed me.
Oh, she'll send me stuff all the time. Like, did you read that article I sent you? It's like, well, if you wanted me to read the article, why didn't you give me the article or tell me about it when you saw me? Because you see me nightly, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a stereotype right now. I graduated college and I moved back to my parents' basement.
I know I got bad memory. I forget. Hey, mom's basement gang.
What are you doing with your degree? Well, I live with my parents right now.
I make tie-dye t-shirts with my associate's degree.
No, it's cool. I'm saving money, but I love being at home, but I hate being at home.
I love
too
it.
much. I mean, I love it. I love the food. I had the food. I love being home. I do. I love my family, and it's like it's the hardest part because I'm trying to move here in the next couple months.
Yeah.
It's like the one thing that holds me back, especially my mom. I'm so close with my mom, you know that, and dad are close as hell too. But we have our lots of my dad.
I'm not close with Elvis, but I'm really close with my mom.
Yeah, Elvis. It's hard to be close to a man so famous. For those of you who don't know, Dad's. Tulsa's dad is not actually Elvis.
No,
obviously,
he's Elvis.
He's an Elvis impersonator.
Elvis Aaron Presley.
We'll put some links in.
No, we won't.
Yeah, we will.
We're not gonna plug that guy.
We're gonna have pictures of Tulsa dressed as Elvis later too. He loves it when you bring it up. So.
Okay, I might put one picture just to promote the podcast.
You know what's the worst? I already have to pee again.
Just go in that bottle. Great entertainment.
Dude, did you ever have friends when you were younger in high school? They'd be playing video games.
No, never had friends.
We talked about this before. That Big Mouth line. You watched Big Mouth, didn't you?
Yeah.
There's the episode
gonna do sex on a lady.
that episode in the beginning when he's in the kitchen and the mom's talking to him. She's like, Steve, do you ever get lonely? And he's like, of course not. I remain lonely. It's so funny. Such a dark humor. Dark humor. I love it. But
I
anyway,
watched that. That was the first episode I ever seen. I watched it at your house.
Oh, see, because I made you watch it because it's so funny.
It is funny.
So
and then I ended up seeing it again. And I was like, this is the same episode I watched. And it was weird. Hilarious. Like, the second time I ever watched the show, it was the same episode.
He's fixing the sink. And he's like, the first problem is, he's like, I have no idea what I'm doing. He's like, I mean, look at this thing. It's riddled with pipes. It's like, it's a sink.
He's a gym teacher, isn't he?
It's so dumb humor. I love dumb humor. I love awkward humor.
I mean, that's why I've been watching Family Guy for 20 years.
Have you ever seen I Love You, Man?
I think so. A long time ago. When it came out, maybe.
Stiegel? I think it's Stiegel.
Steven Seagal.
No, it's Steven Seagal. No, but dude, watch that movie. You're not a big movie guy.
No, I don't. Speaking of that, can we get into this topic that
No, we're not going there yet. Because you're an asshole. He's an asshole.
I mean, this is going to get me some heat.
Right, so just a little background before he even starts. Back to the Tulsa will never watch movies. I'm a movie buff. I want to do a little acting. It's part of the reason I'm moving. I've always loved acting, and I didn't study or anything. But so I'm trying to get my boy here to watch more movies because I'm a movie buff. And I gave him the classic. Who, if you disagree with me, The Dark Knight is undeniably a classic movie of our generation.
I don't have time for a 2.5 hour movie.
Listen to the audacity of this guy.
I'll watch wrestling for like 6 hours.
Yeah, I'll watch a 6 hours WrestleMania of guys oiled up.
Okay.
It's entertaining. All right, I'll give you have me watch that shit the other day. It was kind of entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. I get
You're a fan now.
It's an art. It's just I don't understand how you can watch 6 hours of that and not enjoy Bane.
I didn't see Bane. I watched The Dark Knight.
Oh yeah,
I gave you one movie.
The Joker, how do you know? Like
I like the Joker. It's funny. It's a cool character.
That character is
Batman,
so dark. It killed Heath Ledger.
Batman is a human grown man that dresses like a cat.
Yeah, but what is so appealing about him is that he's just a normal guy.
And he talks like this.
Yeah, but he's way better. That is the best. Ben Affleck, get out of here. You're not Batman.
My dad's Elvis.
It's Christian Bale. It's Christian Bale is Batman. Fight me if you think different. Not fight me. I don't want to fight anyone. But yeah, you're wrong. You are wrong if you prefer Ben Affleck. I'm just telling you right now.
Born in the dark. I've never seen that movie, and I know what the guy sounds like.
But then at the end,
Darth Vader.
You've never seen that movie?
No. I watched The Dark Knight. I watched it from start. No way. That's like 7 hours of movies.
It's so good though, man.
I could be watching wrestling in that time.
The whole hero character. There's a reason we love heroes, man. They represent good and justice, and that's like that's a part of every society. You should watch superhero movies.
The Spider-Man movie was cool in like 2001. I think it was with Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire.
That was a good movie.
Mary Jane.
Only superhero movie I cared about.
The new Spider-Man. What's his name? Tom Holland? Whatever.
Tom Arnold?
No, Tom Holland. He's a British guy, I think. But he actually really good. I wasn't all stoked about it.
I didn't watch it.
That he was British.
Go figure.
Against British, but it's just hard to, it's like when you can't see someone being a character as one person. So it's like I know Spider-Man is Tobey Maguire, and then this little British guy comes in. I mean, he was awesome. He was awesome.
It's just like
funny. The whole character is like he's a young kid.
It's like a generational gap. It's kind of just hating because we're old now, or we're still young bucks, but.
We're young, but it's just funny. Like every generation hates the shit that comes after them. Or doesn't hate it.
Like I hate the new rap music so much.
The new rap music, and you're not even that old. And it's like your parents hate your music, and their parents hated their music, and you know what I mean. It's just like it's a fundamental part of us thinking that your shit is better than the people. And it comes that comes back. We're gonna get into some. We want to get into it now, but it's like there's such a fundamental part of people. It's like that you like your shit the best. You know what I mean? And
absolutely.
I think it explains so many other problems.
So I try to push wrestling on it. Wrestling.
I wish you guys could see the belts he has down here.
Real.
I don't
by
know
the way.
I don't even hate wrestling. I just don't understand it. I think it's one of those things I told you. It's like if you didn't have someone who was close to you when you were young and you didn't watch it and get into it as you were young, when you watch it as like a grown person, you're like, this is fucking weird. Like why are they fake wrestling and little leather things, and it's like they're giving a full, you know what I mean? Like you understand what I'm saying though, right? Like
I get your side of it.
Like that's what I'm saying.
I get your side of it. If you don't know the stories, you don't know the people, like it's what's going on here. You know what I mean?
It's also hilarious.
But like,
I can't remember what comedian says it, but he's like, this is nothing. No offense to gay people, but he's like, outside of that ring, that's the gayest thing.
It was Joe Rogan.
It's Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
It's like this is the gayest thing you've ever seen. It's like grown men oiled up in leather.
It was
Speedos.
on his Netflix special. I remember him telling that joke.
Like it's hilarious because it's so true. It's so funny to see these grown men just like oiled up, like hugging each other with their muscles. And it is an art form. They are so
I forgot
athletic.
who said it. It's not about like the wrestling or even like.
It's just funny to me. It's funny.
It's more about the story you tell, like from start to finish. Because
it's
like
a narrative.
you get a program.
It's like a movie.
You get a program.
It's like
100%.
See, that's why I think you should like movies. You just like no. It's like a TV show.
Yeah, because it's like
a long running.
Monday Night Raw's been running for like 25 years or something every Monday.
And
so it is a weekly. Yeah, I've seen every episode. No doubt.
Crazy.
Some of them a couple times because the WWE Network's great.
See, I judge that, but then at the same time, it's like I watch all my things. You know what I mean? It's like that's not judging. I don't judge it. That's the wrong way to put that. I just don't. I don't have the interest. Like you don't have the interest in movies, so I understand it. But we also watched how much wrestling 2 nights ago? Hours of wrestling.
Hours. We watched a good hour.
I was entertained. That dude jumped off the table.
Are you entertained?
That motherfucker's crazy.
The one off the
he's
scaffolding?
Like 57 and he jumps 30.
Shane McMahon, he's 49, yeah.
Whatever,
He jumps off stuff all the time.
Right, I don't want to do that. I'm a young body. That's going to hurt me for
That's
weeks.
Vince McMahon's son. That's why he's so crazy.
Yeah, I think there's this fundamental thing that all guys want to be fucking like, I'm the craziest. You know, it's like, you've seen it in my life. You know, I'm
good. I mean, remember when we climbed that phone tower?
Yeah, that's what you got to do. But anyway, back to the cell phone tower. I don't know if we should tell this story all the way because I can tell you for a fact that it was partially legal.
It was on someone's yard, right? I mean, we can't say any names or anything, but
it was also on it was a cell phone tower. Like that's owned by a company. We climbed a barbed wire fence to get in.
We did climb up. Yeah, I cut my leg on that thing, but we were hammered too.
Actually, it's funny you bring this up because I was actually thinking about the results of this.
Death.
We'll forget that
when you
tangent I was going to go
when
on.
you see phone towers though, and you see how crazy high they are, like we didn't do that. We climbed probably 20 feet.
But when you're at night and also not totally in the most sober state of mind,
not at all.
It seems really.
I wouldn't have climbed that thing if I wasn't
high. Like really
it felt
high.
So
it was
high.
dark as shit.
I remember looking down.
We were 16 years old. Like,
was it?
What the shit were we doing? We were maybe 18. I don't know. We were dumb as hell. So I think one of the things. So me and Tulsa know each other. We didn't go to high school together, but we've known each other since we were in high school.
It was a high school, like 10 minutes away.
When I say we're
from
from like the middle, of, like the other part of Illinois, I mean we're from the middle of nowhere. Like people say the middle of nowhere, like, oh my town, you know, I went to a school with 700 people. It's like my class had 70 people.
My senior year, I remember I lived in that tiny ass town.
It has less than 300 people.
I was about to say I lived in that tiny town, Kirkwood. It was like 700 people, and no gas station.
Yeah, we don't have a post office. We had an antique store.
We had a post office.
Which doesn't make any sense.
We had a little Tom and Linda's, but like, it was ridiculous. Stuff was so expensive.
Yeah, that's the problem with being out there. You gotta
like a 30 pack of Keystone. Like you can get that stuff every day for like what, $13, $14, $15. It's like there it was like $30. It's like $1 a Keystone. What's going on?
Tom and Linda's to buy my Keystone. And that's little towns, no, some of it. I mean, some of it. But, I mean, it's just funny. So, like, my high school, we went to bordering high school. So his high school was a little bit bigger than mine, but still small. And he went to
high school in Monmouth, Illinois. Maybe 200 people in my graduating class, maybe?
No, yeah, 200 people. So you had
like 180? I don't know.
You had less than 600 total, I think, in your high school, didn't you?
Yeah, it was like 580 something,
yeah,
I think, the year I graduated.
But I think, what does Monmouth have, like 16,000 people? I don't even know. I don't want to put those. It's not like
I think it's
not like it's a conspiracy.
Man, I think it's 9,000? No.
It's only 9,000? Yeah, it's small. It is. It's only like 10,000, right? But anyway, it's a small town. So my high school was like the country version. He had the city. He was Monmouth. And we were all the country shit around it. Mm-hmm. Most of the country shit. So like we had, when I was in high school at one point, we had like the biggest school district in the state. Square miles wise at one point it was 363 square miles, which is huge.
They've added so much stuff to it too. It looks cool now.
But 363 square miles, and we had less than 300 people, so we had more square mileage than we had people in our high school, which is nuts.
Yeah, your high school is probably bigger than mine, and we had double the people. That's why there's so many fights.
Not bigger. I mean, the square mileage was way bigger, but I mean, you had way more people. You guys were, I don't know about. We fought. You know when you go to the parties who the fighters are? It's always the redneck kids. And I love the rednecks. Shout out to my rednecks around here. I love them. But you guys love to fight. You guys like, you feed on it. Like, you get drunk and you guys come in and you're just like looking to pick shit. And I love it too because I'm a shit talker. And that's why I got my ass knocked out by and like knocked me out. You remember that shit? He put me on the ground. I woke up in my bed at home. Somebody drove me home covered in blood.
Yeah.
That's something that makes me sound crazy right there. But he did put me on the ground.
Tried to fight me that night. Not really fight. Give me a little smack, and I was like, "What the fuck are you?"
Me?
What? Yeah.
I was being a dick.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's right after
I got it.
I graduated high school, and I had to be borderline alcohol poisoning. Borderline. I drank a fifth of Jack Daniels in what was like an hour and a half.
Wasn't it honey too?
It was Jack Honey, but I did that thing where I buy the 2 1 liters of pop, and then I put half the fifth in 1 liter and half the fifth in the other, and I just carry around the 2 liters. But that's like we were fucking stupid when we were younger, man. We started drinking too young.
Really bad.
I mean, it's one of the things that you see.
I feel like a lot of people go through that though.
But they go through it, I mean, everywhere. But I think it's something. If you look at statistics wise, so like drug use and alcohol use among adolescents is at a higher rate in rural areas than in urban areas, which sounds backwards because you have this picture of cities as like kids that have this access to drugs and there's so many bad areas, which is true. And I mean, there's so many other things that can go into with that, but. Because there's so many more things to do, there's more opportunities. You know, I mean, like, what could you couldn't be an ice skater here. You couldn't join a hockey team. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to do theater, there's very limited theater stuff. We didn't even have soccer or wrestling at our high school. You know what I mean? Like, we had like 8 sports.
Well, I think
so
we had both of those.
So you don't have a lot of free time, and you live in the middle of nowhere. Like when I didn't have my license, I lived in a town of less than 300, less than 200 people, I think, and I was the only person in my town within my age group by like 3 or 4 years. Like. But you don't have a lot of access. You're 20 miles away from people. You know, you meet up in the country, and like, what are you gonna do? It's like, eventually, you just start drinking beer and smoking cigarettes or chewing or smoking weed. Whatever we started doing, you know, we started partying
100%.
together. And it's like it's a higher percentage, and it's prevalent everywhere. That every kid is introduced to that shit. But it's just like I think out of boredom in this area, we started drinking it. You're introduced to it at a younger age. You know what I mean? Like,
we can go
artificial intelligence.
I don't think I ever made my Dark Knight point. We kind of went off on a tangent there.
Yeah, we did.
And the whole part of it.
Go back to why you're wrong about Dark Knight.
Oh, okay.
Because you're objectively wrong. Like this isn't.
It's gonna bring me heat too, because I know I got a lot of people that love that movie.
I mean, I have a boner for a superhero movie, so like
a lot of people love that movie. It's overrated.
That's your opinion. No, you're entitled.
100%
you're entitled.
Overrated. You know how many times I've heard The Dark Knight is the best movie ever?
It's definitely not the best movie ever.
Not even close.
A very, very ill-informed opinion of cinema or catalog of cinema.
They spent a lot of money on it. You can tell.
Well, yeah, that's why those movies are awesome. All superhero movies are so high budget.
But
you know what's crazy? So you listen to people watching that movie, and then like, because I've done that one movie, but just like knowing how movies get put together, and so I want to do, and I've looked into it. Superhero movies, when they're getting shot, look so stupid. You
I've seen the clip where that guy's like,
God,
I think it was the Flash.
So funny.
He's like doing some move with his hand and nothing's happening.
It doesn't look
and
cool
then like
all.
there's like lightning shooting out or whatever the hell the Flash does. Cool. I don't know.
It's so funny. But yeah, no, I don't know. You don't like it. What don't you like about it? Because you got to admit, like the Joker. Okay, where do you put this? Because here's my thing about cool why the Dark Knight is so loved. It's mostly, well, first of all, Christian Bale does do an amazing job with Batman, but the way Heath Ledger kills the Batman or the Joker is like that's the best. That might be the best villain of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, that was confident.
Besides,
obviously he doesn't agree.
Besides, like Vince McMahon or something, but
Vince McMahon. Okay, outside of
I gotta get away from wrestling. I gotta get out of the wrestling topic.
You're allowed to talk about wrestling, but it's different than Batman.
Okay, Joker was a cool
would
character.
Kick Vince McMahon's ass. Like, let's just be objective here. Like, come on. The man walked into the mob with grenades.
We're not gonna get into this.
You know what I'm saying? Then he's just hit that guy's face.
Were you a Batman fan? Like, did you watch it? Because I never seen anything about Batman ever until that movie.
I like Batman Begins. Yeah, I started with the early Batmans.
Like even Batman and Robin back in the day, like. With Adam West or whatever, like never.
It was like the Penguin and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Battle Quest. What's Battle Quest?
I said Adam West.
I think you said Battle Quest. I was like,
I need to open my mouth more.
Don't do that face again.
I'm gonna gobble this mic up.
Let you guys infer what that was.
It was my pet turkey.
He does have a pet parrot who's quite the asshole.
Oh, he's the worst.
He's also nervous, just like Tulsa. I think it's interesting. That's because animals take on the emotions of their owners, and he picks off all the
Sometimes my dog looks at me, and I'm like, you look like a scared mess.
He talks to you, too, huh? You are crazy.
Yeah, like Wilfred. You ever seen that?
Dude, I love Wilfred.
Yeah. He'll come up to me, and he'll be like, what's up, dude?
Wilfred is one of my favorites. So dark, too.
Office is the best show of all time.
The Office is awesome. If you don't like The Office, you're also wrong. At least you agree on that one with me, Tulsa.
I haven't watched it in a long time.
Have you seen it? So you obviously haven't seen
this year. That's a long time for me. No, I don't watch that.
Okay, the Infinity War was amazing.
No. Which one's Batista in? That's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Which are also, I think those might be some, I don't know. I'm a sucker for the superhero movies, if I'm honest. But the Guardians of the Galaxy I love. They have a great soundtrack. It's all like a bunch of old 70s, 60s, 80s music. You know, it's like good music. And then the humor is awesome.
I like a good
Chris
soundtrack.
Pratt's funny. It's got your boy Batista in it, who I didn't even know was a wrestler. I just thought he was a big gray alien.
Boy, were you missing out.
I know.
That's another wrestler that got sucked up by the...
It's so funny. I am Groot. You need to watch Guardians of the Galaxy. That one's hilarious. I'm telling you, you'd like it, bro.
I wouldn't. You said you're going to love The Dark Knight. And like halfway through it, I'm like, is this movie going to end?
But you know why? Because you went into it thinking it was going to suck.
No.
That's how
I got myself excited.
If you think something's going to suck, it's going to suck.
I got myself excited. I was like, tonight, I'm gonna. I was sitting on the couch, rock hard, with a bowl of popcorn, just waiting for this movie.
Like every Friday night.
Casual Friday.
So what'd you use the butter for? The popcorn or?
What butter?
Because I need to get
Instagram,
man, and I'm torn on it.
Instagram and Reddit are huge for me.
Reddit's a rabbit hole I fall into rabbit holes.
Reddit's gnarly.
It'll consume hours of your life, bro. You can just
I don't do that. I can't do that.
And reading.
That's why I took Facebook off my phone. Well, actually, it was because of the last election. It drove me crazy. Yeah, I'm not getting into that at all.
I like Facebook for catching up with people, but one of the things that pisses me off, maybe it's because the friends I like are good with Facebook and they don't post that much. But when I get on Facebook, for whatever reason, the algorithm is set up that I see people who I do not give a shit about. You know what I mean? And I have to keep, like, it's not that I don't like them. I mean, I know them, and I have lots of acquaintances. It's just, like, I don't want to see your daily sharings of memes, and you know what I mean? Like that. And
that's the same reason I don't look at Snapchats. Like, I try not to care what people are doing, because I don't, like... Yeah, I don't know if it sounds weird. I don't want people to, like, know what, like, care what I'm doing. I don't want people in my business. I just want to live my life and do things.
No, I don't think that's weird. It's not weird at all.
Okay, I don't know.
I mean, it's probably kind of weird for the society, because I'm the same way. I think we're the society's like geared toward wanting to share everything, you know, like, and I'm all about open. You hear me talk, like I'm too open sometimes. I'm that guy's like, you know, you meet somebody who you barely know and you tell them a story and like, why the fuck did you just say that? You know what I mean? Like, you just
I've been in a lot of bars with you where, yeah, you could go on off some crazy rants with a guy we literally just met outside.
Yeah, but with Facebook and shit, people are different. I don't think there's this like disconnect between like what they share shit, and there's this disconnect between the idea of like there's consequences, or that you create a world like the you know, the collective consciousness of human beings is a real thing, and whether you want to get into that spiritual energy, you know, like that goes deeper, and we can talk about that.
We can get into whatever.
But, like, the collective consciousness of human beings is a totally real thing, and it's totally dependent on how we all communicate and how we all share knowledge. And if our society becomes more geared towards sharing such bullshit and such shallow ideals and arguments and stuff that's on the periphery, and this materialistic, consumeristic way of viewing the world, you know what I mean? That it is so fake. That's why we have all these fucking problems. You know what I mean? It contributes to the collective consciousness, and then it just makes the collective consciousness dumber and more in that way. And it's like, you have to.
Everybody's got eyes on them.
Got eyes on everything.
There's eyes everywhere. There's eyes on everyone at all times.
They're watching you, Big Brother. Social media is just weird, man. It creates unhealthy relationships because it makes you more connected and less connected at the same time. And I don't know what to do about that, but I think it's healthy. It's good.
At the touch of a button, you can literally talk to anyone in the world,
which is amazing. But
crazy,
think about
mind-blowing.
Also, how terrible that
and terrifying.
Not terrible. Terrible's not the right word. It's just I don't think people.
Terrifying is kind of a word.
Terrifying is a good word. I think we're irresponsible as people, all of us. It's not anyone. That's not like we all like to selectively apply things to other people and like fail to look at it within ourselves. But we're all irresponsible, and so we're irresponsible with what we view and what we share. And viewing's even bigger than what we share. But like people don't take the responsibility and fact checking what they're seeing and then seeing the other side of arguments. You know what I mean? And it's this I don't know. It's just you have the responsibility.
Yeah, when you like you were saying,
be real and be honest,
that was
open and self-critical.
Whenever we talked about that, though,
So
like
easy.
when you're
Man,
in a little bit of an argument, or like starting to get into an argument, people immediately like turn off, and it's only their side they hear, and they just spew out immediately. So they don't like take the time to listen and interpret. It's kind of like what I wrote down for the notes, like what was it? Reciprocate, don't retaliate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, there's this thing. It's like I think it's a Aristotle quote. It is an Aristotle quote, but I can't remember the exact wording. It's like the mark of an intelligent mind is being able to entertain an idea without accepting it. But entertaining an idea is not simply listening to it. Entertaining is trying to understand that viewpoint from that person's viewpoint. So like when you're talking about not listening, people listen in so much as a way to respond from their viewpoint. So they listen in a way to argue from their viewpoint. They don't ever try to understand what you're saying. They try to understand why you're wrong from what they believe. And so there's an ancient Chinese proverb where it talks about like you can't understand your own viewpoint until you equally understand the opposing viewpoint. So until you understand the opposite viewpoint with the same openness you understand your own, you can't really understand why you have your own motives and why the other people are actually wrong and why yours is right. Because people just like to listen to their own thing, and if you don't hear the other side and try to understand it, you don't really even understand what you're arguing about. Because
and you don't learn more, you know what I mean? If you're close to if you're close to the opposing opinion completely, you're not going to learn anything. You're not opening up to learn more.
Well,
and knowledge is power. You know?
Knowledge is power.
You know?
Well, I think people should constantly strive for growth, too. You know what I mean? Improvement, like you're saying, and that comes through knowledge. But you only can grow and improve and gain knowledge by like challenging your perception of the world you have now. You know what I mean? So like you have to, in order to improve, you have to change however you are now, right? Because that to improve implies that
always got to
you're
be
making
evolving.
something different. You're getting it better. Just be total nonsense.
We
like
are so all over the
we
place.
Really are.
Yeah, we're all over the place. I like it though.
Well, I like that we're all over the place. I think what we need to do. See, this is a learning process for us, too. Like, so we didn't really have a plan. We came up with our name about 30 minutes before we started the podcast today. And it's cool that we're jumping, because we're going to talk about other things, but it's like, I don't have any train of thought right now.
It's the first one,
Not that I don't have a train of thought. I just have a million trains of thought. I want to talk about everything.
Yeah, because it's the first one. You feel like you have to talk about absolutely everything that you want to get off your chest.
You know what I want to talk about on one of these? Water. Which sounds fucking weird, but
Water's
water.
Great. You need water.
And it just, you need it, but it's like, there's a metaphor there that I'll try to make. Maybe I won't, but yeah, we're not going to get into it. Just let me sound like a weirdo right now, praising water, but I watch this weird documentary, just like pollution and stuff. You should watch the stuff about the Teflon and the C18 or C8 or whatever, and then the Gen X or whatever, and all the chemicals that they make for all kinds of stuff that goes into water, and how little people look into, like, we take for granted the things that we have.
Absolutely.
That we just, like, think are understood. So, like, you see it in Flint, how, like, the water, you know, like, that was criminal how that was done, but it's like the same way going on all over, and I don't think people realize, like, how big of an issue this is in lots of places where the water is completely contaminated, man. And it's like a necessity to life. And when you take for granted your necessities for life, you allow them to become put to the side, or, you know, or ruined. And I think that's one of the things, though, coming back to our society, back to this this mental consciousness thing, because I'm always trying to go philosophical, just where my mind's going right now, is that, like, there's some fundamental ideas to life and how you're supposed to interact with people and have a conversation and change and improve. And when you say it, people are like, well, duh. You know what I mean? Like, you should treat other people how you want to be treated. And people are like, well, duh. But then, like, when you see how they act in their own life, they don't fucking do that. No. You know, we take for granted those things that are like water and how we should interact with other human beings. You know what I mean? Not jumping to conclusions about what people mean based on one thing they say is something that should be like water. Like, because every one of us has said stuff that has been taken way out of context, you know what I mean? Or has said some stuff that was wrong, or, you know, we've all changed our opinions and been introduced to new information, you know what I mean? But it's like there's some things that I think we just need to understand about how we are talking to people and how we're having conversations, and that people forget, man, like, and how we should act. There's a yin and yang to everything, too. Man, there's two sides to every argument, and two things can be opposing and true.
I mean, for the most part, everybody follows that social norm of how you're supposed to act, but man, some people are so rude.
Dude, a lot of people suck. A lot of people suck.
We should name the first podcast.
But that's
a lot of people suck.
It's one of the problems, though, is I think that's a narrative that we've created so much that we think that although a lot of people suck, I think in general people are freaking good, man. Like, how many people do you know that are awesome? Like, you hate people more than me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're more like our friend Joe on the range. Like, hate, but you are less.
I love people.
You love people.
I don't like conversation.
Yeah, you're not as much of a conversationalist. I love people.
Yeah.
People are awesome.
Which is weird because I wanted to start the podcast just as much as you did, which is just about conversation.
You do like to talk. You're just not as upfront and aggressive.
What do they call that? Introvert?
Sometimes. Yeah, you're more introverted. Yeah. I'm introverted too, though. I'm just an extroverted introvert because I really need my time alone, and I spend a lot of time alone. Me and my mom have been talking that a lot. My mom does the MBTI stuff because my mom's a counselor, by the way, so she's big into introvert, extrovert, you know, sensing, perceiving, judging. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what's E. What are the others? Extrovert and introverted.
I forgot them all. I did study this in college, though, but it's been like 3-4 years.
Judging and perceiving is the last one. Thinking and feeling, judging and perceiving. It's the Myers-Briggs test or whatever. She's huge on that, but yeah, you're definitely more on the I. The introverted scale, and I'm definitely more on the E. Like, it's a lot of it has to do with how you get energy. That's what my mom explained it to me. So it's like, but besides like the other factors of like what you like to do and stuff, it's like she described it to me.
I don't sleep a lot. You know, could that have a lot to do with it?
No, it's more like this. Okay. It's like, you know, my mom's big. We're both. She's kind of a hippie, even though she's a counselor. So we're big into energies and stuff like that. But it's like how you get your energy. So my mom, like, she goes to a social event. If you go to a social event, and you have to talk to a bunch of people. It drains you. Like, you get back and you're mentally tired from that. That's because you're introverted. You need your time by yourself to decompress and feel. It's like we all need that. Like, even extreme extroverts need that. But like extroverts, where I'm on the opposite end of the scale, is like I can be exhausted. And if you say, let's go to the bar, and I go to the bar and see some people I know, I can go all night. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter how tired I was. I get energy from being around people and conversation, which is the opposite. You know what I mean? That's where a lot of it comes from.
We go out together, at least 2 hours before we leave, I'm saying, can we go yet?
Yeah. And well, I think also it sucks going out with me sometimes. Like, I can be an asshole because I jump around. Like, I'm terrible. If you're not a bar person, or you're not like, I feel bad about it. Like, I know it's like a dick thing to do, but like, I'll go out with people. It's like our buddy Josh too. He's an instance. Like, he's not unsocial, but he hasn't gone to the bar as much lately. So when he goes to the bar, sometimes I feel like I know he's uncomfortable.
It's weird.
It's
a
lot
very
of new people.
You know, I never go to the bar. It's so uncomfortable.
So whereas like it would be so much better, I think, if I would sit down and then like have people I know come and then I can introduce them to Josh. You know what I mean? I do that thing where it's like I'm like on a fucking.
You get in, you talk to somebody, and then you see somebody else and go talk. Yeah. You just like when you go to the bar, I always prepare like
It's like a
someone
mission to
else
find
that's
me.
there
Yeah.
to like kick it because I know you're gonna be off doing stuff. But we like run. We come to the bar together and then we just run into each other throughout the night.
That's how it is. I need people who understand.
And then we
that,
just
like,
end up like dipping together. You know, if we took the same
I love going out
car.
with you, Josh. Don't think I don't love going out with you.
Oh, Josh was great.
Yeah, I love going out with everyone.
I haven't went to the bar with Josh in so
Josh
long.
went to bars with me a couple times lately. We've had a lot of fun, dude. We've had a lot of fun. You never go to the bar except for when you don't. You go by yourself and don't tell me and hit on
I
that
go
bar.
by myself.
In Alpha.
Oh, I did that one.
Yeah.
One night I did.
Little dive bars in little towns are awesome.
Oh, it's great.
It's so
yeah,
cheap.
usually just me and someone
love
else.
drinking
You
around
know, have someone come down. We'll go to the little bar down here, play darts, pool.
You can get
No
drunk
one's
for like
there.
$12. Not that I do, because I'm terrible.
It's
Terrible. I go and I just spend money I don't have.
like
It's the one place I'm a
I remember that
Not
one
the
week
place,
I went out in Chicago and I got hammered and it was like $10 Coronas.
but- Dude,
And then I come back here the next weekend and I went to drink at the bar and like way more drunk, way cheaper.
it's like, dude, you can get, you go to the Bijou. The Bijou has 50-cent rum and coke night, dude. You can get a pitcher of rum and coke for $5.
That's a mom,
And I stick a straw in the pitcher. Remember when we do that? I don't know if you ever went to the Bijou and did those days, but you would literally just get a pitcher of rum and coke, $5.
That
You get a pitcher.
should
and
be
you stick
illegal.
straws in it. I don't know if it should be illegal. It's a great deal. Don't shut down the Bijou. Not the one ball. It's got like the one wheel in the middle, and you step on it. You ever seen those ones?
Yeah, the one it's called a one wheel.
Yeah, and I'd never ridden those till I was drunk at the bar. It's really hard, man.
I
When
got
you're
on a
drunk,
hover. It was actual hoverboard when they were like first coming out. I got on one when I was working at
I don't think
IV
I've
out
ever ridden
back.
an actual hoverboard.
I stepped on one and I did one of these moves where I like go back and forth a lot, and then it went way forward and I landed right on my tailbone.
Like when you slip on ice, like your feet go out right under.
Yeah.
There's some hard falls. You see videos of
It was rough.
Dude, have you seen
Never
the video
stepped on one again.
of the guy trying to do a flip off one?
People
He tries
probably
to
do that.
backflip and then it goes, and dude, he looks like he dies because he lands like straight on his head. Like, oh, dude, it's disgusting. Look at me. Should I sing? Because I'm not going to sing on the podcast.
I didn't think it'd be
Even
the-
though I got Songbird of my generation.
I didn't think it'd be the problem that I would be the loud one.
You're the loud one?
Yeah,
Really?
and my shit's like
Yeah, I'm
turned
always
down.
telling you you're a loudmouth.
Oh, fuck off.
I'm an asshole sometimes. I do. I have this tendency to take over conversations.
I think it's
one of the
because
things I'm
like the
working on
way you
most
got the
in my
mic, like I said, it's directional mic, so like it's picking you up perfect. I got you set up perfect, but mine's like.
You got me set up. I set this shit up.
So,
Come on.
Okay.
Give credit where credit due.
I meant with the mix amp. You
I'm
didn't.
fucking with
You
you.
didn't
I'm
touch
totally
this.
fucking with you. You did great. I didn't do shit. You bought all this shit, man. I'm just here. I'm like a
I mean,
leech,
yeah.
mother-
All
I'm a
you gotta
leech.
do is show up.
I'm a leech.
You know how hard it is to get you to do that too. All you gotta do is show up.
You know, well, I would if you would text me. It's like when you get a hold of me back to your phone, it's not that hard. But it's like I only, at the same time, I don't hear from him for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but he didn't hear from me either. So
Yeah, it works too
we're
late,
both
dog.
assholes. What do you know?
Hypocrites.
That's
Insightful
right,
hypocrites.
Insightful hypocrites. No, it's the phone's so easy. I actually think people do all the time. It's like that phone. You
I like
expect
the
your friends
fact
to
though.
hit you up, but
No,
you don't hit them
I
up.
like the fact that I can just shut off from my phone. Like I don't. Like I've seen people that
Or you
literally.
can't, like you have the ability, because everyone
Yeah,
can,
like-
but they don't have the. They don't
There's
have
been
the
like
will,
days where it's been
the
like
will.
6 hours. I have no idea where my phone is.
Well, I do that shit all the time. It's awesome. Don't you feel free?
Yeah.
It's because when you're
just love that.
it's when you're in the moment of what you're doing. It's like you don't want the distractions of. I think that's why I was talking about intentionally ignoring text messages. It's not that like I said, it's not like I look at them. I'm like, fuck Tulsa, and throw my phone over. It's like I'll text him back 5 hours later.
That's definitely how it is.
It's like even if I either don't know that it rang or it's like I feel the vibration, but it's like I'm doing something. Like I don't let it distract me. It's like I want to be doing
Like
what I'm doing.
I'm working and I hear my phone go off. It's not gonna answer
Yeah.
until all my stuff's done, or like until I come back to my desk and sit and have time to look at it.
But when I call someone, their ass better drop what the hell they're doing, and they
Pick
better
up.
answer that
And
shit.
if I need them to do something,
it's important.
they're gonna
Like,
do
come on, Yeah, no, it's God, it's so easy to be like that too. I don't know. I'm working on it. I'm constantly working, but at the same time, I don't even want to work on that one that much because, like, do I want to improve? Like, because it does. It takes away from whatever the hell you're doing. Like, I hate it when I'm talking to someone.
It's
Nothing
definitely not
pisses me off more.
a goal of mine to be on the phone more. That's definitely not a goal of
You know what I
mine.
mean? Nothing pisses me off more because some things piss me off. You know, I have a temper. Like, not as much as I used to. When I was young, I was like your typical redheaded little Irish kid. You know what I mean with my temper, but. Like when you're talking to someone and they're just like looking at their phone and like and it's like you're not even listening to me.
You're not
just doing that
engaging
thing.
in conversation at all. No.
You're hearing it so much as it's going in one ear and out
It's
the
because
other ear.
you've done it yourself before. Like,
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? So you know how it is.
It's that Carl Jung life is but a mere thing I told you about.
looking and you're just kind of letting it in.
Yeah.
You can hear them, of course.
It's
you don't
not
really
automatic.
recollect what they're saying.
You're not picking up. It's like you ever read though. You do the same thing with reading. You ever read and you're reading?
I can't do it. I mean, I can.
We should work on that. How'd you get an associate's
okay.
degree? Right?
Fuck.
You teachers, this is the school system failing Tulsa. He doesn't know how to. No,
I made it all the way through school, high school, and college without being able to read.
That's something. That's something though. No, you should. It's like we're talking
I
about
don't read
with
books.
the sitting in silence though. It's because you're uncomfortable sitting there in that silence and just focusing on the book. It makes you all fidgety.
I think of other crap, and then
you got to learn to focus your mind.
I'll read a whole
takes
page
practice.
like 3 times, and I couldn't tell you what the page said.
Focus. It's focus. You got to learn focus, diligence, consciousness, brother. You must look into the soul.
I mean, you're right. I should definitely take more time.
Well, that's just something I think we all have to work on. Like, no one is good at that all the time. Like, people talk about it, and like it's good to talk about. You should try to be more conscious. But anyone who says like, "Oh, I'm conscious all the time," like they're an asshole. Like, no one has it down all the time. Like, it's so easy to fall into that. But you have to be aware of what you're doing at all times. Like, that's the biggest key. Like, that's what a lot of the religions, like you look at Buddhism and stuff, like that's what meditation's about. It's like being conscious and aware of what you're doing, like freeing your mind. First of all, you're letting your mind connect to the outside world when you meditate, but that gives you the ability to focus it and use it in the everyday world.
It's so hard to do when you're anxious all the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, but you have to work on it. It is hard. I'm not
just
saying it's not. It is. I don't even understand that, like I said, but
it's weird going into things. I'm thinking of so many different things, and like I don't know. It's weird. It is really weird.
But yeah, it's weird. But if you allow your thought process to be, well, this is just me. You know what I mean? Where it's like it's just this is I'm anxious and like this is how my mind works, and it's like okay, it's overpowering, so I'm not going to do that shit. Then that thing wins. But if you look at it as like okay, I know I get anxious, but like let's calm down. Like I have the ability to slow my mind down. I've done this shit before. It's not as bad as I'm making it think. Like I know I've had fun doing this stuff before. You know what I mean? If you take the time and practice, and I'm not saying that's easy because you're anxious. You know what I mean? It's like I get depressed, and so it's like someone is just like, yo, get out of depression. It's like fuck you. You know, it's hard.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like you have to work on it. And people who are depressed who just allow themselves to wallow in a bed, they're not doing anything to improve their depression the same way. You know what I mean? Like me, when I find myself doing that, when I get down, it's so easy to just wallow.
Mm-hmm.
But you only get out of it when you take those steps to say, like, I need to improve here. You know what I mean? So with that anxiety, it's like some of it's beyond ability to control with chemicals, but you can always practice. You know what I mean? You have the ability, and you have to work on it. And it's just like, it's everything. It's that constant improvement thing we're talking about, you know? Yeah.
And we're getting better with it because, like, I mean, the moves we've been making are pretty special and important, and I function through all those, and
you can just create your own reality is what it is though. Like
it's crazy. It almost like
you create the reality.
It almost feels like you're living a double life in your head.
The anxiety?
Yeah, to a certain extent, yeah. Because like I got to go out and do these things and talk to people and like big things sometimes. You know what I mean? And or like could be very important or change the route of what I'm doing. And it's like I can just make it through it quick and easy, and like. I mean, in my head, it's not quick and easy, but like to the outside eye, I would assume it appears like it went smooth. You know what I mean? And then I come home and I'm just like, how the fuck did I do that?
Well, you did because you were focused on what you were doing. You know what I mean? You weren't focused on. You allowed your mind in that instance to focus on that. This is for like you're comfortable with going to concerts where you haven't met people or to coffee shops and introducing your business. And doing stuff that you wouldn't do under other circumstances if it wasn't in the name of the business, because what are you focused on? The business, and you're not focused on
doing what you love. Because like I love it,
but not only that,
it makes it so easy to go about my
day. You're
so
focused on just that it's for the business that you're not considering as much those outside influences that you get anxious about, like you do when it's not focused on the business. Because if you're just walking in there to introduce yourself to people at a coffee shop, now it's not about the business. So what you're focusing on is those other things that are in your way, are normally roadblocks, you know what I mean? So there's not that thing you're focusing on to keep you distracted from those. There's not distraction, but it's that you've zeroed in your mind and allowed your mind to tune out those other things. To what I'm going there for,
I have a goal, and I'm going to go do it, yeah.
And that goal, that drivenness of that goal, you're conscious of it, you know what I mean? You're conscious that that's your goal, so you become focused and zeroed in on just that goal. And in doing that, you shut out the other things, and you are able to do that by being conscious about other things in your life. You know what I mean? If you just make yourself aware of how things influence you, why you react to things, how you react to things, you know what I mean? And how things make you think and why your thought processes affect how you act. Because so much of what you do and you act is so dependent on those subconscious things that come to you like that. Like that feeling of anxiousness and those thoughts of like this could happen or that could happen. That's not something that like, you're like consciously processing and thinking of. it just comes up, you know, like it sneaks up and like starts like itching you from the feet, like a fire just keeps burning.
And it's not like it's not like I walk into Walmart and I'm like,
that's your subconscious.
Gonna like burn down. Like that's not something I think of. I don't know. I think it's just all the people. It's like there's so.
But that's your subconscious fears coming out there. You know what I mean? That's your subconscious fears that aren't reality, and it's your subconscious, and you know they're not reality because you get through it when you're focused on something. Yeah. And so it's not the reality, and you know it's not the reality when you're focused on the business. So therefore, it's not the reality in other situations either. But we allow our subconscious thoughts and our subconscious perspective of what the world is to rule, and we don't take the time to understand, like, whoa, like that perspective is just my perspective. Like, let's be realistic. Like, I made it through that time, so why is this time any different? You know what I mean? Like, you create. Not that the anxiety isn't real and it doesn't, you know what I mean? But
maybe
you create
since that
a world.
works for me, I should like set goals, doing stuff. That makes,
I think
like,
short-term goals.
Well, of course I always set goals, but like when you're going to do something that's nerve-wracking, set a goal going into it that you could focus your mind and narrow in on instead of going into it with a blank mind that could bring up anything. You know what I mean?
I think, well, if you don't have something that you're shooting for, then you have nothing to compare your results to. I think that's important in everything. And so, like, I think the biggest key to long-term success isn't actually even having a long-term goal. I mean, it's like you need a long-term goal. Like, you need to have an idea of where you want to get. But people get so dead set on their long-term goal and their destination that they, like, set up the way the journey has to happen to
it's
get
like
there.
It's like a giant ladder, and the long-term goal is like the top ring. And it's like you can't get there by jumping. You gotta build them steps.
Exactly. And they think because they know what they want the top step to look like, that they know what every step under there should look like. But in reality, you have to focus on short-term goals that are going to get you to that thing. You know what I mean? So you can't focus on, like, good note. If you just focus on, like, I want this to be an incredibly successful clothing company, and that's your thought process, it's overwhelming at that point. It's like, well, how do I do that? But
there was one point when it was like that.
Exactly. But once you focus on, well, I'm going to figure out how to make T-shirts. That's step one. So you learned how to tie dye, and you get really fucking good at it because you got your short-term goal. You got one goal that would lead to your long-term goal. But when you were working on that short-term goal, you weren't necessarily thinking about, I have to do all this right now to make that big goal. You were just focused on the success of that short-term goal. And so as you chip away these short-term goals, what you realize is you do so many of those little short-term goals that you get to where you want to be in the long term. But when you just focus on that long-term goal, it becomes daunting. It becomes overwhelming. It's too much. You don't know how to start or how to succeed.
People give in and fold under the pressure.
The pressure. It's hard. Life is hard, man. And figuring out what you want to do is hard. And you don't have to know.
And so expensive.
It's expensive. But I think not knowing, the reason like so many people get overwhelmed is because they don't know what they want to do. That's my big issue. Is like I don't know still. You know, so many people, that's why they buy a Corvette at 50 because they're like, what am I doing with my life?
I mean, I know what I want to do. I just hope it pans out. You know what I mean?
But when the second it doesn't, you can't have a collapse as to that my life, you know what I mean? Like where people go. It's that you have to find a new short-term goal to get you to, because you're still not the kind of person you want to be.
I mean, this is to the point now where it's like, it's something I'm definitely probably going to be working on for the rest of my life. You know what I mean?
You've been extremely committed to it, dude. I told you how proud of you I am. Like,
so it's like,
and it's like I wish I was.
There's always got to be short-term goals going. You know what I mean? Some multiple, sometimes, but like not to the point where it's overwhelming, like the long-term goal. But like right here, I got.
You have to have lots
I got
of
sticky notes down of all the stuff I have to do in the next couple days. You know what I mean?
Goals.
Before I head to Chicago. Yeah. So those are all short-term goals to get to the bigger short-term goal of what I want to do in Chicago this Wednesday, and then which could lead to, you know, it betters the chance of my long-term goal coming true. And
so back to being conscious. So when you're even looking at your list of short-term goals, if you looked at your list of short-term goals as like the list rather than each activity, it would look like you have a shit ton of shit to do. You know what I mean? Like, man, this is, I got to do 19 things before tomorrow night. You know what I mean? So even looking at just your list of short-term goals can be, and it's like not to say you should never look at it, because it's like one of the, people always go black and white with stuff. You have to look at all the big picture and all that stuff too. You have to, when you're daily focused, you have to train yourself. When you hit that list off, you look at the first thing and you only think about that first thing, right? You do that, you go on the next one. And then you
sometimes I look at the easiest thing first.
Right? But you still chip them off one at a time, right?
Yeah.
It is. You got to think about it as one, when you're conscious and you think about one thing at a time, and it's hard, but it's like you focus in your interests, or at any given time. It's not to say you can only do one thing, but like any given moment, be focused on what you're doing. You will be astronomically better, less anxious. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's hard to do. It's like, I'm terrible at it. You know what I mean? I get fuck up with it all the time. It's so hard to do. But it's like something everyone's got to work on, because the more conscious you are, you understand what you need to do, how to do it. You're not overwhelmed by all the other shit you need to do. You're just focused on that one thing you're doing. But when you're conscious too, it goes into how you treat people. You know what I mean? You understand people are doing, you know what I mean? It's just, being conscious is huge, man. And you got to allow yourself to get away from those distractions and quiet it and do that. You're so against it.
Do it.
Like no music. Like you're into hip hop, and I love the music,
I
but
love
you gotta sit in silence sometimes, man.
It's
eye opening.
I would say okay. All right.
To listen to
if I
nothing
sleep
except the world.
maybe like 4 or 5, maybe 6 hours a night or something. So that's like 18 to 20 hours of the day awake. I'd say probably 15 hours of that I'm listening to rap music.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been terrible with music lately.
Or maybe like 12. Maybe I shouldn't exaggerate because I don't know.
No,
the
you listen to
exact...
music all the time, man.
It is a lot. It is a lot. All the time. Like it'd be cool if we can listen to it now.
Yeah.
I sent a whole list of names last night, and none of them were Insightful Hypocrites.
And none of them were. If you all hate it, you're wrong. No.
If you hate it, fuck it.
No,
it's like Ricky Bobby. If you don't chew Big Red, then fuck you.
Fuck you. I like the with the Jackhawk 9000. They're only at Walmart.
Available at Walmart.
Boom
candy.
Boom candy.
That was the next one I was thinking of.
Yeah, that whole movie is so ridiculous.
See, Talladega Nights, that right there is better than The Dark Knight.
You know what?
Hilarious. I go for comedy.
Totally different movies.
Completely different genres.
Totally different movies. But
I would prefer a comedy movie over whatever that's called. With like an action movie, probably.
Yeah. See, I like watching I don't know, deep movies a lot, like movies that make you think, or thrillers that you're.
I thought you meant like deep, like romantic. I was like, yeah, I've done that a couple times. I guess porn's great.
We all watch porn though. Porn's weird. We don't talk about porn right now any more than that. We'll just stop with porn's weird.
Let's
Also, we love porn, but porn's weird.
Yeah, you want to turn this off and just watch some porn?
we're gonna porn out, bro. What movie is that from? Have you seen that movie?
I've heard that before. I remember on Wilfred.
Is it Wilfred?
I think
it is Wilfred.
The guy comes over and he's like, "You trying to porn
you trying
out,
to porn out, man?" Yeah, that's what it is. It is Wilfred.
He brought his laptop and everything. He plays Randy on My Name Is Earl.
That's what it was. That's why I was just thinking My Name's Earl, and I was like, that's not him. Yeah, you're right. But he's way skinnier, right?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, better trimmed beard. He's not looking like he's supposed to look on My Name Is Earl.
Right. My Name's Earl. That was a funny show.
Which is also, a great show. I hate how it never finishes. Like, the ending is so dumb.
I didn't even remember what the ending was.
Like, they definitely were going to keep continuing it, but I think
What's
they got canceled.
Name?
The main guy? Man, I don't know. I know he did a voiceover in, like, Skate 3
We both have multiple
something.
ways to look stuff up on the internet here. Isn't that insane?
I have my computer behind me.
Hey, viewers, if you could help us next week, we'd like to know who the guy who played. I'm going to look it up right now, because I can't trust these non-existent viewers to look up something for us. What?
We're going to have viewers, dog.
No faith, dog. I ain't got no faith, dog.
I know my mom will listen.
Right? I can always trust Mommy. I hope you don't call her Mommy.
No, not usually.
Not weird. Usually. You know weird. Girls calling guys daddy. You know, it's like weird because I'm like, if you don't call me daddy, it's not like I'm not into it. It's just like, it's kind of weird though, right? Like that's like a normal thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what up, daddy? It's like just, I don't know, it's just something's weird about it.
You would think it should make you, don't you ever. That's
right?
like
it's just
ASMR,
like,
no?
if you're like, hey, mommy, you know, it's like, I don't know, but you say like, mommy.
I've said as a joke.
I got no judgment about it, man. Yeah, I kind of like it, really. Girl calls me daddy. At the same time, it's like, why do I like that?
No, like, I was getting into that, like, you should feel weird and uncomfortable, but you're kind of like, yeah, I'll roll with this.
Yeah, we've all done some stuff in bed. It's like, you wouldn't want to tell your family about that at Thanksgiving. No. Well, any of it. Like, can you imagine if that's what Thanksgiving was like? You had to go to Thanksgiving, and it's like, all right, you say prayers, and then you all have your... Like, you have your turkey and your plate, and you sit down, and your grandma's like, all right, let's start it up. And they just start going around about sexual experiences in the last year that you're thankful for.
Round table sex
like, man,
stories.
I'm really thankful for your grandma finally letting me go back door. You know, it's like, Grandpa. Give him nuts, you know? Like, no, that's gross, man. I don't want to hear. No one wants to hear about your family ever having sex, which is weird. Which is...
Ew.
But I think that's an American thing, too, that sex is so taboo with us among family. And...
Well, it should. That's just weird.
Well, it's not that I'm saying you should have sex with your family. That's not what I'm saying.
I'm saying,
no, that's gross. A new law running in 2020.
What do they call that? Oh, incest is right. That's the new podcast title.
The one is incest is the best. That's the dirtiest saying, bro. The dirtiest thing.
But like,
do you get mono if you just have sex and you don't kiss?
I don't know.
Like, so say that girl had mono, but you just had sex.
That comes hand in hand.
I think it's in
though.
your saliva.
When has ever been a time where you've had sex and not kissed?
I don't know. I imagine if you use a bad hooker.
I don't do that.
Yeah, I don't either. But I'm saying, like, if you were just like, you know.
Why are we on this topic?
I don't know, because we just got here somehow. I imagine that has something to do with it. But yeah, I don't know. Back away from hookers.
Yeah.
What's that Jergens doing next to your laptop?
I always look and think that that's probably really weird for people to see.
Yeah.
I have eczema really bad.
Like on your penis?
That's the main location.
Mom, I'm just treating my eczema, I swear.
I don't think...
Have you seen that Chris D'Elia skit where he's talking about not wanting to go to your birthday?
No, I've seen all the Eminem ones, though.
But he's like...
The floorboard of the Ford Taurus.
Right, he's...
What am I
that one's funny, right? But he's like, if you... He's like, I don't want to go to your birthday party. He's like, after your 10th birthday party, he's like, get a job. You know, so he's like, he's being a dick.
Pull your weight.
Like, he's talking about, if I come to your birthday party, he's like, I'm getting you a VCR. And he's like, when you open it, you're like, oh, you didn't want that? He's like, I bet you did at one point. You know, it's like...
I thought of a really good pun today at the pet store.
Pun, son.
We were getting my dog new food. And it was this...
It's a cool story, bro.
This brand of food called... it was spelled like EUKUBA or so. I don't know. I don't remember.
EUKBA? What? Ika?
EU... Oh, this is just bad now.
I can't even picture the letters you said in my head because you said it all weird.
EUKUD, I think.
EUKUD.
UBA. And I was reading it.
I'm smart, but I can't even process that right now.
Right? Okay, I might just cut this whole part out though. But I looked at it and I like made a story.
I need to write it down. Here's a piece of paper. EUK. Not just pen doesn't work, of course. EUKUD.
UBA.
Eukuduba. Eukuduba.
Right.
Eukuduba?
Okay,
Eukuduba?
that was
Eukuduba?
the name of the dog food. And I looked at it and I was like, low on cash, Eukuduba.
Eukuduba. I don't know how to phonetically break that down.
What a long, shitty setup to a poor payoff of a joke.
That was the whole joke. Eukuduba.
Eukuduba.
I don't think any of it's true. Just like people are nuts. But
it is all true.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of conspiracy theories that I think are super interesting. Some of them you hear and you're like, dude, you really think that shit?
Yeah, it's... No way.
Like lizard people. Like, you really think there's fucking lizard people?
That's a thing?
Yeah.
Didn't know about that one. Yeah. Psycho. There's lizards.
They think
there's people.
They think that there's this group of a secret society in the world that's actually lizard people, and they use holograms to change their appearance to human, and that these lizard people are actually the ones behind pulling the strings to everything. The Illuminati is made of lizard people who
Human
secretly
chameleons?
control all the societies and the governments of the world, and they just use these hologram technologies to cover the fact that they're actually lizard people. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, what? Where's your evidence for lizard people?
Human chameleons, I can get behind that, because they could live
Actually,
anywhere.
though, that would be dope if that was the thing. Not dope, but like, wouldn't it be crazy if just like one day they're like, oh fuck, one of their holograms are just like fucked up, and then like Anderson Cooper, or because that's one that they think because of his nose thing, is like sitting there as a lizard. Like, it would be super cool if that was what happened. And then all the conspiracy theories are like, told you, and we're like, holy shit, it's a damn Komodo dragon or whatever.
It's a Komodo dragon.
And he's just giving us the news. He's wearing a hologram the whole time. Like, it would be so amazing if that happened. At the same time, like, man, that would be earth-shattering.
I want a Tesla.
Yeah, you want a Tesla too bad.
I just completely changed topics on you.
Yeah, why do you want a Tesla so bad? I understand why you want a Tesla bad. I'm not even going to ask that question. It's like,
it drives itself.
They're cool. They're cool.
And then people go, that's unsafe.
Plus,
safest car in the world.
Yeah, they're super safe, but also their power is instantaneous. Like, they did a lot of genius stuff with them. They're awesome. They have a lot of hidden little, like, Easter egg type things. That,
oh, yeah.
They're really cool cars.
It dances. What other car does
right.
that?
He's got a 1-star rating.
1 star after 1 day.
Something about the fact that he doesn't wear clothes when he drives. I told him it was a bad idea, but...
I prefer all natural, baby.
Right. Accept me for who I am.
Some people get in and they're like, oh, God, what's that smell?
That's what I was about to say. That's so funny. I mean, the visual's not great either, but the smell. He's really nice about it, though. He's not creepy. You know, it's not sexual. They can tell that. It's just...
I don't
he's
like
just a
open
nudist.
the door and go chicka chicka. Like,
well, is that what's creepy to you? Is that like... That would be what would creepy... Like, if a creeper came up to you, you think he's going to go chicka chicka?
If someone opens their door and does that to me...
No, he's going to go, hey, mommy.
Oh,
like,
okay, that is
and
weird.
then you know what that's doing. You know what position you are in that relationship.
That made me uncomfortable.
You know what position that creeper's making you in that relationship. I'm just saying. But, you know, chicka chicka, that's your creepiness. Chicka chicka!
Bum, bum, chicka chicka.
Man, that creeped me out. I am creeped out. What were we just talking about? Where'd the chicka chicka come from?
Being an Uber driver.
Oh, yeah, an Uber.
That's where that joke came from.
Eukuduba.
That was literally on a bag of dog food. That's the name of the dog food. And I was like,
are you
need some cash? Eukuduba.
Eukuduba.
That's funny, right?
Are you good at... Oh, man.
Spelling? I'm mad good at spelling. Wait, did you just get it?
Yeah, I just got it.
Okay.
I'm an idiot. Nah, I'm an idiot. That was a good joke.
I was like holding my stomach in the store.
I'm so stupid. That was way better than I even thought. I just laughed because it sounded funny. Like, no, that's great. Eukuduba. That's great. Solid joke.
And he finally gets his recognition.
Idiot point for the day goes to...
Scene. Marker.
Bow, scene, marker, mic drop. Hey, Dan, can you leave? I gotta deal with my eczema.
I'm sitting here like I just won over that crowd with the joke.
Like for the first time you peed in the shower, you couldn't stop peeing in the shower, you know? It's like you did it, you realized the freedom.
I don't even remember the first time that happened.
Probably the first time you showered, I would guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, oh, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because the water's running too, I feel like you just have to.
Right. Anyone who doesn't pee in the shower I think is weird. Not weird, it's just like if you're really opposed to peeing in the shower. I mean...
You know what would be even weirder?
I don't know, I guess I could actually understand why you don't
Someone who comes in the shower and doesn't aim when they pee in the shower. It's got to at least go towards the drain.
You mean aim? I hit the curtain. You shoot all over. You do a spinning 360.
No.
You don't do the 360?
Absolutely.
I just try to ballerina twirl, and it's perfect because the water under your foot makes it slippery, so with our size, you don't need to have the toe strength that a normal ballerina does. You know, you can just do the spin, and your urine just goes, you know? It takes the term yellow shower to a different meaning, much more pleasant. Much more pleasant meaning. And on that note...
This took a wicked turn. Wicked turn.
Guarantee you the next time you shower, you do the peeing 360.
I'm going to try it.
Don't. I've never done it, but it's a bad idea, Tulsa.
No, there's stuff in the shower. That's
said,
gross.
Now I got to.
Like there's shampoo.
Yeah, there's shit
bottles.
everywhere. Other
Like,
people go in there. You do have to aim at the drain. If you don't aim at the drain, you're an asshole.
Okay, thank you.
When you poop in the shower, you better push it down the drain.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Okay. We'll save that one for another podcast. Okay. You ready to end it here?
No. But
No?
what? End it here? You ever end it on the poop?
Yeah. I think that's
I don't
a good
poop
spot.
in the shower, though.
You said it already. No takesies backs.
Alright. It's out there. It's in reality. Talked it into existence.
Oh, rate us 5 stars on iTunes. That's what I want.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah, do that too, but we'll get to it.
Listen
no one's
to every
listening to this
episode.
right now, so we're just talking to ourselves. But yeah, we'll see you again next week.
Absolutely.
Have a good one.
Insightful Hypocrites.
Peace. Insightful Hypocrites. Ow.